Crazy week in AI and tech. There's a lot to cover, so let's dig in. So a couple days ago, I did a video where I covered the new 50 series of graphics cards announced by Nvidia at the start of CES this week. So we did get a 5090, 5080, 5070 Ti, and a new 5070, which is only $549, and it's apparently pretty close in terms of capabilities as the 4090. So pretty big leap there in terms of their new Blackwell architecture. But another thing that Jensen had pointed out here, and we see this here on the graph, is that, or chart rather, we see that there is a line drawn, and it started with graphics cards, and I believe it was AlexNet, one of the first language models ever to come out. And then the line continues on, and it goes to perception AI, generative AI, agentic AI, and then physical AI. And a pretty cool moment here on stage when a bunch of robots raised up around Jensen. So essentially, he is saying the future here is with robots, and that is going to be the next phase. Of course, I do have a video if you're interested in learning a little bit more about all the new 50 series cards, but just thought I'd throw this out there as one of the entry points of the video today. Um, Let's continue and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other CES items and products that were covered. Okay, so next up is Holiday. This is a new wearable. Of course, they are calling them proactive AI sunglasses with an invisible display. Honestly, these are very reminiscent of the Google Glass, which came out. It seems like wearables are kind of taking some leaps here. I like the idea of, more comfortable eyewear that still has some functionality, more so when we're looking at augmented realities, kind of like what the Apple Pro headset made an attempt to accomplish. But I don't think people want a heavy wearable on their head. I do think that the future, if it is in AI glassware, is going to be in a pair of glasses like this. So these are pretty interesting. They're saying like secret power. Of course, it has AI built into it. So AI translation, you can have different things pop up on the screen when you need them, like if you're giving a presentation, notifications, and of course, if you're walking around on a street somewhere in a new city, having the navigation component could certainly be helpful there as well. That is Holiday. This was one of the mini products announced at CES. Let's continue on here. Okay, so of course, another wearable announced at CES this week, X-Reel. I think the biggest thing here is they're really taking it home here for business travelers. So if you someone in business and you need a wearable, these are apparently a pretty decent option. Looks like $499 and estimated delivery January 13th to January 16th. Very similar to the holiday glasses we just looked at here. It has the display built into the lens, and they are saying that you can use different extensions to plug in like prescriptions if you need to. So I know that's helpful for certain individuals as well. All right, another product here launched at CES this week. We have a Lenovo laptop, and this one is called ThinkPad X9. So the new ThinkPad has an extendable display. At the push of a button, you can grow your display so you can go from a 14-inch to a 16.7-inch display at the push of a button, giving you a little bit more screen real estate. You can use it as one screen, or you can use the Windows Snap feature and kind of use it to view two different applications at once. So maybe one application on the top and then another application on the bottom, just to help you with your workflow there. Okay, so ThinkPad is going to be available in February at $13.99. So pretty exciting stuff here. They have a few different models listed as well. So depending on what you need in terms of performance, I guess that would kind of determine where your pricing is going to be here. But that is the Lenovo ThinkPad, a pretty cool display. I haven't seen one of these before where you can push a button and kind of grow your display. So pretty exciting stuff. Another product launched at CES. Okay, so here is a drone paired with a vehicle. I'm not sure if this is again exactly like a consumer product, maybe for the extreme wealthy potentially, but essentially you can drive this vehicle around and deploy a personal drone. So you can get in your drone and essentially fly off. thought this was pretty cool, the demo that they show here. You can essentially use it for travel and exploration. That is Xpeng Aerot, a new flying drone paired with a vehicle. I'm not sure. Seemed like we got a lot of different drone stuff this year, which, kind of expected that. All right, we got a new television. This is coming from LG, and they're stating it is a OLED, which, LG is very known for. They have a very beautiful display, in my opinion. But the LG OLED has a transparent display. But the cool thing is you can bring up a curtain as needed. So if you want a traditional television display, bring up that curtain and you'll have the black backdrop there. They're stating that they should start shipping these by the end of the month, I believe. The biggest kicker here is that it's about $60,000. So if you're in the market for a TV and you have a pretty big budget there, this seems like a pretty cool option. Alrighty, so Microsoft makes 5.4 fully open source on Hugging Face. We got the announcement last month in December that they were kind of going to make this open source, so really exciting stuff. It's 14 billion parameters. I've seen a lot of different people run this locally on a local like GPU. I think I've seen some people running it on lower series of like 40 series graphics cards and maybe even below. So you should be able to run this thing on a home computer depending on what your exact setup is. But I'm really impressed by the model. It has some pretty impressive benchmarks. So if we take a look at this here, it is the blue line. So let me zoom out a little bit here. We're a little zoomed in. But it actually competes with a lot of frontier models. Like here's 4.0 and it gets pretty close to the 4.0 benchmark here on MMLU, which is just general understanding. It outbeats on GPQA, misses the mark here, outperforms on math. Human eval, it's pretty close. Simple QA, it kind of misses the mark a little bit here. And on drop, it competes pretty well. So I think this thing is pretty exciting stuff. Here is another chart that shows how it has really great performance despite its relatively small size. So that is Microsoft's 5.4. It is officially on Hugging Face. So now we can take a deeper dive on its model weights and other things to really understand how this thing could be useful. We have another announcement from Nvidia. This is Nvidia Cosmos. This was also announced at CES. It's a suite of AI models designed to accelerate the development of physical AI systems like autonomous vehicles and robots. So it offers open access, physics-aware world foundation models trained on extensive video data, enabling developers to generate high-quality multimodal outputs. You can try it here and start developing with it. I think this is a pretty big step. As I recently said, NVIDIA firmly believes the future is in robotics, so they're going to start developing a ton around that space and excited to see what they do here. I also covered this in my video where I covered all the new 50 series and the new Project Digits, which is a new personal computer coming from NVIDIA. The thing is about $3,000, but it compare pretty much with any system, and it offers somewhat like a cloud-based ecosystem where you can deploy like different language models and that sort of stuff. So if you're a developer, coder, artist, like there are a lot of different use cases here of having your own personal supercomputer. As I said, it's can connect with pretty much any device, and it offers like a cloud-based solution, so any device in your home can pretty much connect to it and utilize its performance. So I think this is a pretty big step. It says a Grace Blackwell AI supercomputer on your desk. NVIDIA Project Digits. They are still looking for a name, so if you have suggestions, go over to their Twitter and let them know. But that is Project Digits. I couldn't skip this because, the first ever personal supercomputer, I think it's a big deal. All right, so next up we have Google's Daily Listen. It's a new AI feature. It's in Search Labs. So you got to go to labs.google.com/search. They have so many different like AI tools. I know sometimes keeping track of all their different URLs can be tough, but it's in Search Labs and it creates a personalized 5-minute podcast based on your search and discover history. So it's a really personalized news recap tailored to your interests. And you can now test it in the Google app as well. But be aware it does use your search history to generate content. If popular, they seem to follow, or they're planning to roll out like some of these features as a default. I think this is pretty cool, but let me know your thoughts on this piece. We did get a lot of new avatar, AI avatar video models and lip syncing models here. I thought I would cover at least one. So this is Sync. They're saying introducing Lip Sync 1.9 beta. Here's a quick video down below, and you can now utilize it in the
Around to talk
API.
to some
But I
just
think it's
what
pretty interesting.
Lip Sync 1.9 beta is now available. Sync platform. Give it a try. Hey.
I think it looks pretty accurate. Like it's pretty close. So I thought I would at least cover one of these. There are so many different lip syncing and AI avatar models, but at least thought I'd cover one for us here. Pretty crazy week in AI and tech, of course, with CES. Like that is to be expected. But hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I will see you all very, very soon. Let me know your thoughts below. And if I missed anything this week, I try to cover everything, but of course that can be very hard to do. But until next time, y'all, bye bye.